You're watching WCSD from Calloway County High School.
Coming up on this week's Sheriff's Report, the headache of school traffic, the recent increase in clown spotting, and that special time of year called tax collection. All this and more coming up on Sheriff's Report. Welcome back, Sam Steger. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to start out with talking about the headache of school traffic. I pull in and out of school pretty much every day. And that's something that y'all didn't do last year. What prompted that to happen?
Well, basically last year we had several wrecks, and I was out here picking up my kids every day, and just the hassle that I saw of people struggling to get in and out and figuring out which way to go once they got to the exits. And in the morning, coming in, I met with Mr. Settle, the superintendent, and we wanted to come up with some way to help manage the traffic, get flow going in and out. And so that's what we did over the summer. Kenny Duncan, the maintenance supervisor, made us some signs to help with traffic leaving the high school and on the middle school side. And basically we decided that we would watch it for a day or two and see what it did. And after watching it for just a few minutes, we knew that something else had to be done. So took it upon my office to get out here and try to make things safer for everybody coming and going. So that's basically what prompted it. Was the accidents that we worked yesterday of people trying to get out, and now that they've added the new turning lane out there, Murray State trying to get into the Expo Center, we just thought it would be more beneficial for us to get out there and kind of handle the traffic situation. So that's what we did.
It seems that it may clear a whole lot more than
it is. I've timed it without us doing it, and we're 15 minutes quicker getting everybody in and out than we had been in the past. One thing I've been trying to encourage people is it's dangerous out there. You got several lanes of traffic going different ways. And I want people to pay attention to those signs, the exit signs when they leave in the afternoons. Really, that's where our problem is we have traffic flowing to where they're going opposite directions of each other. Some towards town, and if you come out on the Board of Education side, you're going to go towards Johnny Robertson Road. And we do that for a purpose. So I know it gets frustrating to people sometimes, but if you do need to go to town, then we want you to go out the high school exit, on the east end. But if you want to go and don't have a reason to go to town, then we want you to go out, this side of the Board of Education and go towards Robertson Road. And it keeps traffic from getting, meeting in the middle, and lets us keep our flow going, like we have it set up. So it's been dangerous a couple of mornings and afternoons when we've got people just trying to learn, but most people now are getting they're getting the hang of it. People are pretty regular now and coming and going from school. So, of course, this time of the year we see an influx of kids getting their driver's license, and so they're starting to drive now. So we want to make them aware as well. Just be careful and watch the deputies that are out there, directing the traffic, and just do what you're asked to do. It makes it go so much easier.
Yeah. What kind of accidents would there be?
Last year we had several where traffic pulling out of the high school, they would be T-boned or something like that, which is a wreck to the side as they were trying to pull out, because there again you got to watch traffic coming from this end, the turning lane, and so it gets complicated and hard to watch. All that traffic going all the different directions. So our main goal is when we get in the afternoons is to get our buses in and out, and once we do that, we go to getting the school traffic out as quick as we can get it. That's from a citizen standpoint, during the morning hours and afternoon hours, if you don't have to come through College Farm Road, I would encourage you not to, because the traffic is heavy at that time of the morning, so it's going to slow you down. and just causes more traffic headaches. So.
Well, if only 5 points, near 5 points at stoplight, if only that was a lot quicker.
Yes, and that's on my agenda too. I've got some work. We're going to try to maybe contact the road department, the highway department, and might look at trying to get some assistance from them there. 5 points is definitely a congested area.
I agree. But anyways, now that Halloween is just around the corner, October 31st, which is landing on a Monday this year, the clown sighting.
Yes.
Do you want to clear some of that up?
I do. I want to clear the clown sightings up. I don't want people to jump to conclusions about what they're hearing in the social media and by word of mouth. We have had some reports of some clown sightings. We have not arrived and located anybody, and I suspect that Halloween is going to bring some more of that on. And here's where I want people to understand and be aware of is the clown issues that have been across the United States. I think this all started out in North or South Carolina. The problem with what they were doing is they're causing public alarm. Mm-hmm. Which is illegal. You can't do that. Okay, no matter what you're doing. And when we see clowns, or when we think of clowns, we think of a bozo.
Yeah.
But the clowns that we're seeing in these sightings are reported to us are more of a scary Halloween-y type clown. And when you go to jumping in and out of the woods in front of cars and such, and you're causing public alarm, we are going to address that. And you're not going to like the way we address it because it's dangerous. It's one thing to be dressed up for Halloween and be dressed up as a clown and having fun, but when you cause alarm to the public on our roadways or schools, anything of that nature, then we're going to handle it a little bit more seriously than we would the other route.
What would you say about the videos that have been posted on the internet? Would you say that they're fake, or?
I would say that some of them are probably staged. And what you get into when in this situation is we get copycats who want to. They see it happening somewhere else and think, oh, that'll be funny to do, and next thing we know, somebody's hurt. So I would say that some of those videos that I've seen on YouTube or wherever. Mm-hmm. I would say that some of those are staged because this day and time you can do so much with the media.
Yes.
It's hard to say whether they are or not, but I would think that some of those are, yes.
Okay, where did all this start, the whole?
Like I say, I think South Carolina is where they started getting their initial reports of them. I think they had some issues with some clowns popping up out of the woods into traffic, and I believe we had some just word that there were some hanging around some schools maybe, and then of course when the media got that all out, mm-hmm. It just blew up from there. So that's usually what happens with the media. Sometimes it expounds by leaps and bounds when you get a small story, and then we get back into the copycat thing. So people think it's funny and cool, and really it's not.
Yeah.
So
about last time that we were here, we talked about the Fugitive of the Month.
That's correct.
From what I remember, it was Caleb.
It was. Different Caleb this time.
Okay. So do you want to explain about this new Caleb?
Of course, we have a lot of people that we have wanted or we're looking for, and so I try to spotlight once a month here on the show somebody that we've been looking for a while, and this month we're looking for Caleb Lyle. Caleb is a white male, 24 years old. We've had a warrant on him since back in February, and just looking for his whereabouts. He's wanted for failure to appear on a third offense DUI and bail jumping charges. And last known location was down in the Hazel area, where we last knew Caleb to be. So if you know where Caleb is, we encourage you to call our office, any local police department, or you can call our Crime Stoppers number 753-9500 and report where he is. You can remain anonymous, on those phone calls. So Mr. Lyle is who we're looking for and who we want to spotlight, and hopefully we can latch on to him pretty soon.
Do you want to add any additional comments to Caleb? Like, I know you already said some. But
I don't know him very well. I don't know whether he's a dangerous person. I don't really know that. I'm not familiar with him really myself. But obviously, any time that we're looking for somebody that's chose to break the law and not come back to court, I consider them dangerous just right off the bat because they're obviously not abiding by the law.
What do y'all do? Like, do y'all do anything to try to find these fugitives?
Basically, our warrant system is set up where the deputies can look at those warrants. They usually check them every day when they come into shift, and they'll be going back to the addresses that we have. We have a couple on Mr. Lyle. They'll be going to those addresses regularly to check on those. To check on him and see if he is there, and a warning to those that may be harboring him or whatever. You'll be charged along with him if you're harboring a fugitive, and you'll be charged with along with him.
I guess that people need to speak up then.
That is correct. That's correct.
What else do you see going on in our community, though?
Right now, of course, we're working. We have several scams that are going on. This has become pretty big because so many people have fell into that scam trap. So we're seeing all kinds of scams. The latest one, of course, the IRS scam has always, for the last couple of years, has been large. People get scared when they get a call from the IRS. But the IRS is not going to call you and tell you you owe money. So if you get calls like that, I ask that you just avoid them. Just don't answer them. If you get a number showing up on your cell phone, just avoid that number. Just don't answer it. If somebody needs you bad enough, they're going to leave you a message. One thing we have seen recently is they're also using local numbers now, where you think it's somebody from Murray because it's got a Murray prefix, or they're doing what's called spoofing, which is where they can take like my number and call you to make it look like I'm calling you. And of course, you're automatically going to answer. And what I tell you on that is the minute that you see it's not somebody you know, don't communicate with them. Just hang up on them. We found that the more people try to communicate with them, the more they answer their phone. Even if they're telling them, "Hey, don't call me anymore," we're seeing more repetitions of that to the same number because they know they're going to get you to at least answer.
Yeah.
So I just tell you to avoid the phone call altogether.
Well, somebody that I'm close with, actually, they bought a kayak, and from that company, other people would buy kayaks from that company, and when it got mailed to them, it would say that it's from that name.
That is correct.
What kind of scam is that?
We're actually working one of those right now in town, or in the county, and people believe that they are employed by a company, and the company sends them materials, for instance, kayaks.
Yes.
They would have received multiple kayaks, and then that person divvies them out to particular addresses that are sent along with that order. Okay? The person on this end believes that they're working for this company, but they're not. A lot of that property is actually stolen. And we're actually just getting into the we just got our first case of it the week before last. So we're just it's brand new to us. I've actually been in contact with the FBI on it because a lot of the stuff that they're sending back out is going to out of state where we don't have jurisdiction. So we've got the FBI involved with it just a little bit to try to get some direction on how we're going to handle it, because that's fixing to be a growing problem. There's some other counties that are having the issue. So it's brand new to us, but we're working a case just like that right now.
Why do you think these scams happen?
Money. It's all about the money. A lot of these scams, because people are so, I wouldn't say gullible, but because people want to donate and help people out, they just donate without looking, without doing any investigation of what they're donating to. And so once they get somebody on the line, it's many times it's multiple thousands, tens of thousands of dollars that somebody gives to somebody before they realize they've been scammed.
So our last subject today is tax collection,
Tax collection.
I heard is starting this week.
It is everybody's favorite time of the year. We'll be sending out our tax bills latter part of this week, and of course you'll be able to start paying your taxes probably Monday. As soon as you get your tax bill in the mail, and we're geared up and ready to start. So I would say Saturday and Monday, Tuesday is when people start seeing their tax bills. Again, you can come into the office and pay those. You can pay them online, visiting our website. Multiple ways you can do that. It's so much more convenient now than it used to be. We have the paper copies where you have to individually look them up. Now we have the scanners. You can bring your tax bill in. We got the little scanners, barcode scanners. And you're in and out in a jiffy, and the ladies down at the office do a tremendous job at that. And my hat's off to them. I can't thank them enough for the work that they do down there. So,
well, I'm sure every single adult cannot wait for that to happen.
They can't wait for the property taxes, but they're on their way, so they'll be there shortly.
Well, unfortunately, that's all we have for today, but thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, as always.
And for Laker TV, I'm McKenna Friedrich.